hot in there because it was May in Texas. I think it was like 95 degrees outside, but I think somebody might have pulled the fire alarm when everything was going down, and that shuts off the air conditioning system in the building. So the air in there was very stagnant and very hot. My initial thought upon walking into that art room was, what a strange juxtaposition it was, because it was an art room. The whiteboard at the front of the room had already been prepared for the morning. It said May 18th, 2018, and it said something like 8.5 days till summer or until graduation.
And what's interesting is that teacher actually left the room for a moment and wasn't even there when the killer walked in.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd often wondered.
I mean, that's unbelievable luck.
Yeah.
That she walked out as the killer walked in.
Yeah.
And did you see chairs flipped over and desks and...
Absolutely. There were chairs flipped over. Desks they weren't flipped over if I remember correctly, but they were askew. And I remember seeing headphones and cell phones and shoes on the floor. Like, people had actually run out of their shoes and left their backpacks, left their phones, and the ceiling tiles had murals painted on them, and there was a boombox playing music, and there were, art posters on the wall. But then I looked down on the floor and there's these girls like laying in a pool of blood. It didn't fit. There was no part of my brain that could make that image work.
Of all places, it was 2 art rooms.
It was the art room.
The back door in Chris's room was locked.
Yeah.
What a horrible break. Horrible luck. If that door, if people could open it, that would have saved many lives.
It would have.
What do you think of all that?
It upsets me, and that's something we even brought up with the administration, the school board, and personally we talked about it with the superintendent. We told her, why was there one door open and one door was locked? And she said, well, aren't you grateful that one was open?
They said that to you? Knowing that your brother was killed? That's ridiculous. How come that door didn't open?
Well, it was around the time where classroom doors and any other doors needed to be locked, just for safety reasons. And so our teacher, she wasn't there, so we had a sub, and the sub didn't have keys. So that's why our front door was open, because the sub needed to get into the classroom. But our back door, she didn't have access to opening the back door, so it had to be locked.
The fact that the back door was locked, how many lives do you think that cost?
I think what happened for a reason. And there's some things we can't change. So I don't want to think about the other possibilities, because who knows how that would have turned out.
Are you upset at the high school about what happened?
No. I mean, they didn't know it was going to happen. They didn't know.
What about the killer wearing that trench coat for weeks?
That is their fault.
Right.
He always carried either a suitcase or a duffel bag. That's in the dress code. You can't carry those. You can't have that unless you have a disability, and he didn't.
This school has broken more rules, and their own rules. I didn't write them, they wrote them. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the rules that they have broken, that they wrote, that they didn't adhere to.
Why did the school allow that then? Why did they allow that to go on?
No clue. I mean, showing shoulders like this, I would get dress coded immediately. So, don't know. Maybe because he was a guy.
On many occasions he wore it, and they didn't take any disciplinary action.
I would pick female students up first thing in the morning, and they would have a low-cut top, or their shoulders, God forbid, their shoulders would be showing, and they would get on the bus in the afternoon and they would be corrected into proper dress code. The young man that did the shooting wore a oversized trench coat for 6 months to get everybody acclimated to it. Granted, it's 90 degrees or something in May in Texas. You don't need to wear a trench coat.